UFC 327 is upon us, and I'm about to give y'all my whole prediction of the card. And listen, before we get started, my guy, my GOAT, Joshua Van has pulled out of the fight with an injury. Not to worry though. He will be there at UFC 328. Um, he's gonna steal the show. Let's be honest. I wish he could have done it this card, but it's cool. He'll be there. Anyway, also one more note. I did not post a breakdown of the Duncan versus Moicano card. The card was great, but I just didn't feel the need to, you know, I don't know. There will be a video relating to that in the coming days, so look forward to that. Anyway, let's start it off with the first fight of the night: Charles Radke versus Francisco Prado. Now, Francisco Prado's just too small, man. He just doesn't have the physicality. He's not bad technically, but he's not good enough to where he can outskill these bigger guys and get away with it because he's so much better, you know? And Charles Radke's pretty good. I like his pocket boxing. I like his pressure. And he has good power. So I think he's going to end up TKOing Francisco Prado in the second or third round. I'm going to say late second round. Charles Radke's just going to put the pressure on him and then combos in the pocket. That's what's going to win this fight. Moving up, Kelvin Gastelum versus Vicente Luque. Battle of the Washed Unks. Why can I not click it? $1 billion company, by the way. Anyway, I can't click it. But Kelvin Gastelum is going to outwork Vicente Luque. He's faster. And you know, it's crazy because he's built like a fridge. A deep freezer, even. And Vicente Luque, even though he's not crazy old, his mileage, man. His mileage. This is like a 2001 Toyota Corolla. He's just not there anymore. And Kelvin Gastelum really isn't either. But he has a brick for a head. His chin still hasn't been cracked. He got dropped by Joe Pyfer, but that's Joe Pyfer, man. That's Joe Pyfer, and Joe Pyfer wasn't able to knock him out. So credit to Kelvin Gastelum for having that brick on his neck, if he has a neck. And then the rest of his body's built like SpongeBob. Yeah, he still has fast ass hands, and his boxing and his ability to mix in the takedowns has always been his specialty. I don't really think the takedowns are really gonna need to come into play here because Vicente Luque's head movement and boxing defense in general is just garbage, and his chin has been cracked. So I could see a Kelvin Gastelum knockout, but I'm gonna play it safe with a decision win here. Just outworking Vicente Luque every round, which sounds crazy because you look at how Kelvin Gastelum's built, but man, Vicente Luque is just done, man. He should retire, especially after that whole brain bleed or whatever. Yeah, like he's got to pack it up. Moving up, Markel Maderos versus Chris Padilla. This is a good fight. Both guys pretty skilled, probably just above average UFC fighters. And Chris Padilla, man, people underrate this guy heavily because, well, first of all, he looks so weird. He looks very weird. Like his facial structure is very weird. His hair would not be my first 10 choices or anything like that. But his skill for skill, this guy's a dog. There's nothing that stands out. But he's good everywhere, and he finds a way to get it done, man. I don't think Markel Maderos is a specialist in any area to where he'll be able to just outclass Chris Padilla in the striking or the grappling, the wrestling. So I think Chris Padilla, man, I think he's going to get a decision win here. It'll be close. 29-28, Chris Padilla. Moving up to the prelims, Tatiana Suarez versus Lupe Godinez. I don't think this fight is that close at all. Tatiana Suarez is still like top 3 strawweight in the world. I think she would beat Mackenzie Dern and Verna Jandaroba. She went against Wei Li. That's who she lost to. Zhang Wei Li. She lost to Zhang Wei Li. And we think Lupe Godinez is on that level? No. Tatiana Suarez, I could low-key see a crucifix TKO here. I'm going to go crucifix TKO in the second round by Tatiana Suarez. That's all I got to say, man. Like, she is good. Even though she's dating Patchy Mix and Patchy Mix sucks. That doesn't reflect on her. Matusz Gamrot versus Esteban Ribovics. Now, if you were to ask me this before Bobby Green versus Daniel Zellhuber, I would have said Esteban Ribovics has a solid chance. Against Matusz Gamrot. I no longer think that because of how garbage Daniel Zellhuber is. Daniel Zellhuber got knocked out by a 38, 39-year-old Bobby Green with a glass chin. I know this is not going to be a striking battle, or at least offensively for Mateusz Gamrot. But Mateusz Gamrot is good, man. And he's only dropped so far in the rankings because of his loss to Dan Hooker, which could have gone his way. And a lot of people would argue should have gone his way. Not me. I'm not people. I'm not people. Don't get me wrong. But it could have. And I think his cardio is a 3-round fight. I think he's going to put on a crazy high pace, consistently shoot takedowns. And I don't know that Esteban Ribovics has that takedown defense to really defend against Mateusz Gamrot. I don't think Mateusz Gamrot's going to get a finish. I don't think his jiu-jitsu is all that. I don't think his ground and pound is all that. He has pillows in his hands. But he does have a speedy 1-2. A speedy Gonzalez 1-2. Bop, bop. That's how Mateusz Gamrot boxes. And I think Mateusz Gamrot is going to land good shots on the feet and mixing the takedowns. And Esteban Ribovics is going to end up looking worse and worse on the feet as the fight goes on. So Mateusz Gamrot's going to get a decision win here. I say 30-27. Up next, Kevin Holland versus Randy Brown. Kevin Holland. Your time has come. You're washed. You lost to Daniel Rodriguez. You're losing to Randy Brown. I'm sorry. You're losing to Randy Brown by decision. Randy Brown's... This is like a mirror matchup. And I'm not just talking about because of their appearance, right, guys? Right. They're both rangy strikers who have power in their hands. You know, Kevin Holland, his submission offense is a lot better than Randy Brown, but he likes to throw them hands, man. He does. And in a battle like that against Randy Brown, I do think Kevin Holland has a power advantage, but Randy Brown throws straight shots, and Kevin Holland loops his shots all the time. He has little technique, just very athletic, very physically gifted, but little technique. And Randy Brown, straight knees up the middle. I know he just got knocked out by one. But straight knees up the middle. The right hand on the pipe, I think, is going to be big for Randy Brown. Kevin Holland does have a chin, but we saw him get knocked all over the place against Daniel Rodriguez, who's 39, and he's not a top 15 caliber guy, in my opinion. So I think Randy Brown's going to get this one done by decision. I don't think he'll knock out Kevin Holland. I don't think he's that good, and I think he will probably get hurt at some point. You know, it's close, man, because if he gets hurt, Kevin Holland's a finisher. He is. I'm going to stick with my pick. Randy Brown decision, 29-28. I think it'll be a close fight. I hope Kevin Holland mixes in the grappling, because if he does, I really think he's a path to victory here. But I don't think he will, at least not effectively, unless he hurts Randy Brown. But I just think Randy Brown's straight shots are going to be too much. Moving up, Patricio Pitbull versus Aaron Pico. The Bellator ticks are fighting each other. Oh my gosh, Patricio Pitbull looks like he's 4'3". And Aaron Pico looks like a sculpture or something. Oh my goodness. No glaze, because I think he's getting knocked out in the first round. Yeah. So Aaron Pico is a glass cannon. He's the glass cannon of all glass cannons. He is the definition of kill or be killed. It's him and Terrence McKinney, and I think he's easier to kill. Aaron Pico, man, this guy is either on a highlight reel, like getting knocked out brutally, or brutally knocking someone out. And it doesn't matter what skill level he's going against, he can still get knocked out. I've seen him get knocked out against regional guys. Brutally. Multiple times. We've seen it in Bellator, his early Bellator career. His first loss, his debut in MMA was a submission loss. But I think his grappling has improved since then. I don't think we have to worry about that in this matchup. Patricio Pitbull is good on the ground, but this is going to be a striking matchup. Aaron Pico, he did, like, no matter how many times he gets knocked out, he does not change his game plan. Blitz, throw mean combinations, which are scary, man. This guy has dangerous hands. And that's what I think is going to happen here. He's going to blitz Patricio Pitbull. Pitbull's going to cover up. use his shell, and then end up landing a nice hook in the pocket, knocking Aaron Pico out cold. Aaron Pico's out for minutes. Again, it's rough. His eyes are wide open looking at the lights. It's just not good every time this guy loses. It's like 90% of the time it's going to be a knockout loss. So yeah, that's what I think about this fight. These guys are both Bellator ticks. Why are we putting the Bellator guys against each other? We don't need this. We want fresh match. This is a fresh matchup, but like, come on. It is winnable for Aaron Pico. Patricio Pitbull got knocked out in Ryzen. We forget about this. Because it was in Japan. But his chin has been cracked as well. Anyway, moving on to the main card. I think this should be lower on the card. I think they should swap out these two. Just saying. But Cub Swanson versus Nate Landwehr. Another battle of the unks. A lot of unks on this card. And if you were to ask me this 5 years ago, I would have the exact same response because they're both old. Cub Swanson gets it done by decision. I think it's going to be like a repeat of the Billy Q fight, although I do think Nate Landwehr is better and has better pressure boxing. But Cub Swanson still has power, and Nate Landwehr's chin is getting worse and worse. He's gotten knocked out his past 2 fights against Duho Choi and who else? I forget the other guy. I forget the most recent one. Sorry. I'm casual, I know. I'm sorry. But Cub Swanson, he's still got it, man. He still got it. This guy's a legend of the game. And I don't think legends will lose to guys like this. I don't know. I think if you put Israel Adesanya up against some jobber at middleweight, I don't think he'll lose. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Cub Swanson's to the degree of Israel Adesanya in terms of accomplishments and everything, but you see what I'm trying to say here. Like Nate Diaz want to come into the UFC and just lose to who's a jobber at lightweight, like an absolutely garbage lightweight. I don't know, like Thiago Moises. Now, he used to be all right if he's still in the UFC. But I think Cub Swanson's going to land big shots, have the bigger moments, and that's what's going to win him this fight. I do think Nate Landwehr will outstrike him just based on volume, but I don't think his shots are going to have the reaction or cause Cub Swanson to have the reactions that Nate Landwehr will when Cub lands clean. So yeah, Cub Swanson by decision. I think he'll drop him at least once and just land big shots throughout, stifling Nate Landwehr's momentum. Now moving up. Y'all, I made a TikTok about this. Coughing Baby versus Coughing Baby. These guys are both going to get knocked out. I don't know how, but somehow they're both going to get knocked out. Double knockout is my prediction. No, I'll just decide. I'm predicting Johnny Walker to win. I've never done this in my life. I've never ever done this. Well, except for the first Magomed Ankalaev fight, which I wasn't necessarily like completely wrong because it ended in a no contest. And that knee was close. But yeah, guys, I got Johnny Walker beating Dominic Reyes. I do think if I'm being logical here, I think Dominic Reyes could land a straight shot down the middle and put Johnny Walker out. But Johnny Walker, he's just so physically gifted, and I'm just looking at Dominic Reyes right now, and that's Dominic Reyes looks like a fish. Like his body is built like a fish. Like, hey, I'm from the South. Y'all ever caught a whiting? That's exactly what Dominic Reyes looks like. Don't ask me why I'm making that comparison in my brain. I don't know. It's popping up there. And then Johnny Walker, man, caveman. I think somehow, I don't know. There's no logical way for me to explain why I'm going to pick Johnny Walker. I just think he's going to knock out Dominic Reyes by the first punch he lands. We saw Dominic Reyes get knocked out cold by a jab from Ryan Spann. So we really don't know like what could happen in this fight. It could be a double knockout. I could have been right on my first prediction. But yeah, I'm going Johnny Walker first round KO out cold. Moving up to the heavyweights, big boys. Josh Hockett. Oh my gosh. Josh Hockett, man. This guy's funny. Josh Hockett versus Curtis Blades. Curtis Blades, man. I want him to win so bad. And I don't think Josh Hockett's crazy good. But it's hard to tell because he's been fighting shit competition. But Curtis Blades, he's been a staple in the top 5. He's beat some tough guys. He knocked out Gelton Almeida. And Josh Hockett, man, I don't think he has that one punch kryptonite power that Curtis Blades always falls to, right? He's more of a volume boxer and a heavyweight that's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. It's different, and I like having a personality in the division. He's good on the mic. He's a good character. He's like Chael Sonnen off of Wish, and not as good. And Chael Sonnen wasn't that good to begin with. But Curtis Blades, his boxing is solid. I think he'll land good shots on the feet. Mix up the wrestling. Josh Hockett has good wrestling too, but he's smaller. And that's what I think is going to be the difference maker here. Because when you're both heavyweights and you both have decently high body fat percentage, the bigger guy and the more in shape guy is probably going to do a little better. If they're both skilled. So I got Curtis Blades by decision. Landing decent shots. It'll be a pretty bland fight, to be honest. Landing decent shots, mixing up the grappling. And yeah. Moving up to the co-main event. Should have been Joshua Van. Oh my gosh. Osman Mirzakhanov versus Paulo Costa. Does anyone think Paulo Costa can win this fight? Because I don't. I don't. Osman Mirzakhanov is nice, man. This guy is clean. And Paulo Costa, he's good. But I don't foresee a Paulo Costa knockout. Although, because Osman Mirzakhanov is a lot shorter than the average light heavyweight, we may be able to see a Paulo Costa head kick knockout. I'm just going to put it out there. Put it in the universe. Please. I hope it happens. I'm a Paulo Costa fan. Have you seen the guy's Twitter? It's crazy. But Osman Mirzakhanov, fast hands, man. Fast hands, slick boxing, slick range management. I think he's going to be too fast for Paulo Costa, which is crazy because Paulo Costa is the lighter guy moving up. Or not lighter, but the lighter weight class guy moving up. But Osman Mirzakhanov also has that power, that pop that Paulo Costa lacks. Paulo Costa looks like he could knock your head off. But in reality, he's more of a combo guy. He's more of a volume boxer. So I got Osman Mirzakhanov landing big shots in the first round, bloodying up Paulo Costa, and then knocking him out, TKOing him in the second round. I hope this is not what's going to happen. I hope Paulo Costa just lands a spinning wheel kick, flatline knockout. But I don't foresee it. I don't. So yeah, Osman Mirzakhanov, second round TKO. Moving on to the main event, Jiri Prochazka versus Carlos Ulberg. I'm going with Jiri Prochazka, man. Come on, it's Jiri Prochazka. I don't think I've ever picked against Jiri Prochazka except against Alex Pereira. And maybe... Did I pick Jamal Hill? Oh my God. Anyway. I think Carlos Ulberg is going to win the first few rounds. First two. And I hope in those first 2 rounds, Jiri Prochazka doesn't get cleaned. I don't think he will. And in fact, I think Yuri's gonna make it competitive as well. But man, when that third round bell rings, Jiri Prochazka is gonna turn up. He's gonna turn up. I know it's a 5-round fight, but he's gonna turn up, and I think he's just gonna put the pressure on Carlos Ulberg. He does well to circle, but we thought other guys could circle around Jiri Prochazka as well. And I don't think he's going to be one to get in a firefight with Jiri Prochazka. And the thing with Jiri, even when he's tired, he does not fade. He keeps going. I saw something. I saw part of his training. He has been doing sprints for the past 2 or 3 years while holding his breath. Is this autism maxing? Yes. Yes, absolutely. But also that, like, you can't tell him, like, do you want to fight that shit? I don't want to fight that. I think the third round is going to be the changing of the tides. And then as big shots start to land, Carlos Ulberg survives the bell. And as we see the momentum swing, that 4th round, man, That fourth round, Yuri's gonna finish it, knocking out Carlos Ulberg out cold. And Yuri Prochazka is the new light heavyweight champion. And it's kind of sad because people are going to view him as the paper champ because he lost to Alex twice, which rightfully so. I mean, you can't really view him as the best guy in the world when he just lost to the guy who just left the division. But Yuri Prochazka, man, this guy's different. And he's probably gonna call out Alex Pereira. He's probably gonna win and call out Alex Pereira. As crazy as it is to say, this guy's different. He's gonna after this fight, he's gonna lock himself in a room for 3 days with no light, no food, no water. He's weird, and he's amazing. Yuri Prochazka gets it done in round 4. Those are my predictions. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.